Have you ever questioned the nature of the universe and all that exists around you? Do you watch as the world spins, a seemingly never-ending flow of existence and degeneration, of life and death, rebirth and growth, pondering upon the idea of a continuous cycle of all things? If you could live your life in accordance with the natural flow of the universe, how would that look? Is it even possible to do such a thing? Well, according to Taoist beliefs, they say yes. We can, as human beings, live a life which parallels the universe, while using the natural laws to our advantage, and in the process live a simple, balanced, and harmonious life. But the question remains, how? It would be an unreasonable idea to assume we could climb a mountain without using effort on behalf of our legs and endurance. And it would be equally as ignorant to believe we could run in a marathon without trying. So then, what do Taoists believe when they speak upon the art of not trying? What does it mean to try, to accomplish something? Can it really be done? Can we use our mental will to consciously train our bodies to complete such tasks? Well, it has been done time and time again in history as people such as Olympic athletes train year after year for a shot at glory every 4 years. Could they achieve greatness without trying? In the terms of a Taoist, it is indeed reachable for everyone, but possibly not in the way you think. You see, when Taoists speak of non-action, a principle known as Wu Wei in Chinese, and translating literally as non-doing or doing nothing, it doesn't exactly mean what you think it does. See, while this may sound like a pleasant invitation to relax and actually do nothing, to be lazy and sit around waiting for good things to conveniently fall into your lap, it actually means the complete opposite. When the Taoist speaks of Wu Wei as one of the most important philosophies or concepts within Taoism beliefs, and how it lies at the heart of what it means to follow the Tao, it is a slight paradox. It really means effortless action or actionless action. It means, in its truest sense, being completely engaged in and at peace as you perform your tasks in your daily life. What we would call in the modern world being in the zone, a state in which you are not forcing things to happen. Instead, it is as if things just happen. It's a state of pure concentration and flow, without using the mind to analyze every single thing we do. It's a happening which occurs without the need to strategically play out every move in your head, whether it be poetry, painting, or music, which is both authentic and representative of the natural world around you. The real essence of Wu Wei is to act spontaneously, to act outside the influence of the mind. In doing so, live a life free from the constant use of the mind and thought. You enter into a state where you act in accordance with your natural surroundings, not forcing your will against them, but working coherently with them, resulting in a flow where you feel completely connected and one with the world around you. Is this the way to personal freedom? In the Tao Te Ching, we have a quote which reads as following: "The way never acts, yet nothing is left undone." The previous quote puts it simplistically, in that the universe does not force itself to make things happen, yet all is still accomplished. In terms that suit us as humans, it can be understood as the idea of letting things be. When we have a troubled mind, the best method for clear vision is to let the mind be. Do not force thoughts into your head. Instead, come to realize that in time, all dark and disturbing thoughts will come to pass. Zhang had more than mere skill, and that in fact, his art was not paintings at all, but the very Tao itself. You see, through Wu Wei, or effortless action, Zhang would fling his ink and spread it with his hands on a silk scroll, creating spontaneous forms that he would work into expressive images of nature. The point he is trying to get across here is that the flow behind Zhang's work was Wu Wei. He was able to produce creative works of art without forcing it. He would not sit around for hours, thinking about how he was going to paint the scenery, nor the minute details of how he would like it to turn out. Instead, simply acting on spontaneity to produce art with one brush in each hand, painting with them both at the same time. To work outside of a rigid mindset and to act without hesitation is the art of working in accordance with Wu Wei. You see, the Taoists had observed that human beings tend to act in ways which often prove to be counterproductive. We try to alter the natural flow of life, often trying to force things to bend to our will, and in doing so, we tend to make life more difficult. We as humans have a horrible tendency in the modern age as we often get in our own way. We try to better ourselves through methods which aim to give a quick fix, and in return, we simply remove ourselves further from our own true nature. By solely following ideas which are supposed to benefit us as human beings, such as ethics, rules, and personal values, we only further remove ourselves from the natural flow of the universe, or what the Taoists call the Tao. The Taoist sages believe that we should rid ourselves of these shackles, and instead seek only to live in accordance with what already exists. This is what true effortless living encompasses. This is Wu Wei. The Taoist idea of not trying can be seen as a way of living in such a way that we do not force things. We don't push ourselves beyond the point of breaking simply because we feel as if that is the only way we can achieve greatness. It's about enjoying the process of life, not rushing, but living in the moment, not trying to accomplish anything, but simply accomplishing it with spontaneity. It is going with the stream instead of against it, not worrying about what the future holds. Instead, being present in this very moment. Even if we were to essentially stop trying to do anything at all, to fall into a state of despair, the Tao, from which the entire universe takes its form, will go on. Since we ourselves are part of this universal oneness, part of the great Tao, we essentially will go on too. This is a liberating feeling to those who have grasped the idea of Wu Wei. Even on your worst days, the whole universe goes on spinning, and we cannot help but go with it, to feel our connection to it, and to live harmoniously with it as it plays out the great act of existence. However, Taoists do not agree that a good life can be attained through Wu Wei alone, but instead, they promote that from the art of Wu Wei, we may also gain wisdom. We, in our time of need, when we are in the process of hurting or damaging ourselves through an overstimulated mind, and adherence to rules which simply cannot fit the demand of a spiritual person in line with the natural flow, can use the art of Wu Wei to relax and conform to a simple way of living. The following quote is from the Tao Te Ching and gives us a summary of what we've been talking about in a simplistic form of poetry. The softest in the world surpasses the hardest in the world. What has no substance can penetrate what has no opening. Thereby, I know the value of non-action. The value of teaching without words and accomplishing without action is understood by few in the world. Here we can come to have some insight into Taoist thought, as it uses analogy to give an understanding of the art of Wu Wei, in that it is effortless action that can lead one to a simple but harmonious life. We can show the way without words, and we can accomplish great things without trying. It all comes down to how we interpret the teaching of the Taoists, and whether or not we are in a position to implement such living into our daily lives. To implement the art of Wu Wei into our modern lives simply means to live in accordance with what already exists. We can use certain practices, such as meditation, to help us understand our connection to the Tao, and to calm a hectic mind, so that we may live simply and in accordance with effortless living or Wu Wei. We come to realize we don't need to use our mind, nor do we need to analyze and think about every single action we must complete in order to get through our day. We may come to find that acting with spontaneity has a pleasant and rewarding feeling of freedom within our extremely busy modern times. How great would it feel to just be in the moment, to act not in accordance with what the mind demands, often influenced by worldly desires and conditioning, but to act free of thought, so to say. Take the hand off the wheel just to see where we end up. So, practice the art of Wu Wei. Let spontaneity govern your life, and in doing so, discover how simple and great it can be.